We're back. Day 3, chakras. Welcome. Third chakra is your firepower, your solar plexus. It's right there in the term. The Sanskrit translates as resplendent gem. It's where all that reflected energy, reflected light lands. It's your self-confidence, your ability, your feeling of being respected, and in your dharma, in your purpose. The flip side is if you feel shame, if you feel unfocused, if you feel like you don't know what you're doing, that's a deficit in your third chakra. The color is orange, right? Color of fire. The sound is lam. It resides in your upper digestive tract, as well as your solar plexus and your mid-thoracic spine. So T5 to T9 for the anatomy nerds. Digestive fire, your general fieriness as a person. So we're going to chant Lam. We'll take 3 breaths. Ram, sorry. Thank you. I'm glad one of us is paying attention. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, and then we're going to chant Ram. So here we go. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. And one more, inhale and exhale. Hands to heart center if you like. We'll find our pitch before we finish with these.
Do your best.
Okay. You can mute that part. Come onto your belly. We're going to start off in cobra pose. So come on down to your belly, hands under your shoulders. So right away, waking up that power center in your body, squeeze your legs a little bit to protect your low back. Heart's lifting. Connecting to that seat of power, seat of fire right underneath your sternum. 4, 3, 2, and then just come on down to crocodiles. Prop one palm on top of the other and let your head come down. You wiggle your hips a little side to side. Alrighty, and then we're going to come into Jakasana, Jackie's pose, stimulating the digestive fire. So arms come out to a T, and pick whichever side you like. You're going to roll up onto one side of your body. Opposite leg comes up and over. Place it on the floor or a prop. You can put that foot flat or extended. We usually do this toward the end of class. If your hips are not quite ready, just put your foot flat or put it on a pillow, put it on a block. Feel that center of fire, getting a little bit of a twist, a little bit of stimulation. Maybe think about the connections between the first, second, and third chakras here. So your rootedness, what's on the floor, what's grounding and rooting. The grace that you have, the beautiful expression of this pose in your body, the lovely architecture, and then add some fire to it, a little bit of warming breath, a little bit of juice. Generally, we have this as an allowance pose, as a restorative pose, but maybe today it has a little more fire to it. And then when you're ready, slowly roll yourself back towards center. A little shimmy in the middle. And then take yourself over to the other side, stretching that arm out, lifting the leg up and over. thinking red, thinking yellow, thinking orange. So using your stability and your fluidity as the foundation for your fire. In Ayurveda, the dosha is Pitta. I have virtually none of that in myself constitutionally. I am an earth and water girl. Jackie's more fiery in her body and her personality. So if this interests you and you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up Ayurveda. Take a dosha quiz online. And then when you're ready, coming on back to center. A little shimmy, shimmy when you get there. You could bend your knees and windshield wipe your feet if you like. Finding a little mobility in your low back. Spinning your femurs in your hip joints. It feels really good. And then with your knees on the floor and your hands underneath your shoulders, let's press up to a supported plank. So plank on your knees. Let's press up that far. Feel the ignition in that front of your body. Front body strengthening. Maybe your chest is kicking on, connecting into the floor. And you're welcome to stay here or curl your toes under and take yourself into a full plank. Lifting your knees up. Can bounce around on your feet a little bit. Find your foundation. Find your wiggles. And then add that fire. Add that ignition. Turning up your inner heat dial. We'll take a couple more breaths here. You can always put your knees down. One more inhale. And let's land child's pose just for 2 breaths, because we're going to come back into plank. If you want to take, here, so take your child's pose. I won't talk about the next pose yet. That's a symptom of fire, right? Rushing on to the next thing. And then coming back to tabletop, maybe you want to set up a dolphin plank on your forearms or on your palms, either way. We're going to do one more. Let's try a 10 count hold here. Use the press into the floor. Press your forearms forward and your feet back. You can always walk your feet up into a regular dolphin if the plank is not serving you. Knees on the floor in a palm plank. 5, 4, 3, 2, land your knees into a child's pose wherever you are. Just 2 breaths. A little protection for that third chakra. And then when you're ready, coming through tabletop and press back to downward facing dog. So clearly the most fiery of the 7 chakras. This will be the sweatiest of our 7 days of chakra practice. You ready? Little bend and straighten. This is the chakra of vinyasas, of, heated flow yoga. Your athlete lives here in your 3rd chakra, your inner badass. This is the part of you that propels you through a marathon, in case you were wondering, lady. Big breath in. And exhale, walk or float to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. We'll take a couple sunes. So inhale to standing. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, high to low. So notice that you're using your connection to the floor and your fluidity, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog, as well as that fire, that energy, the burning of your prana. You think of burning as something that uses something up, but you don't use it up. You just shine brightly. Last big inhale. Exhale, walk or float to the front. Think of it as your shining chakra. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to standing, reach up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Lift your right leg up, reach it, peel it open. Couple breaths here to feel that length, shine that shiny spot off to the side, and then when you're ready, sweep the leg forward, warrior one. So a lot of athletic strength in this pose. Feel like you have that resplendent gem, that shiny, fiery energy coming out the front of your body. If you want to lift your arms up, take a different variation. Maybe your arms are down. 5. Coming back to the root. Groundedness, fluidity, wiggle around, make it expressive, make it spontaneous, and make it feel good. And then add the fire. 3, 2, keeping that charge. We're gonna kick up into warrior 3. So launch off that back leg. If this doesn't work in your back, your arms are behind you for airplane. Standing knee can be bent, lifted leg straightening. So much strength and fire and athleticism. 3, 2, now land the back leg, and we're gonna have 2 straight legs as you forward fold over the front leg for Parsvottanasana. Keeping focus on that solar plexus. It's moving toward your knee, your head's gonna drop as you lengthen the front of your spine here. Little micro bend in the front knee is just fine, but we're looking for that flow up the front of your body right into your solar plexus. And you can drop your head all the same. 3, 2, your left hand is going to plant inside your front foot and spin your right fingertips high. If you want to block there, it's a beautiful thing. Breathe through your solar plexus. Let that be shiny, let it be igniting, let it be warm. 4, 3, 2, and then windmill yourself up to triangle. Switch your arms. So you can come through a warrior 2 variation if you like, or just flip yourself around. Right arm is down, left arm is high. Finding a length through that mid-spine, right? Your mid-thoracic spine. From your low ribs up to that spot right between your shoulder blades is the back of the third chakra. Think of that as pressing you forward into your expression. The front body is the feeling of this force in your body. 3, 2, now a little bend into your front knee to plant that right hand on the floor and step back into some version of your side plank. So you can stack your feet, you can have one foot in front of the other, you can drop the top foot behind and put it on the floor for Wild Thing. 4, 3, 2, coming to your high plank, and then rolling through a vinyasa if you like, or pressing back to downward facing. That third chakra burning bright all the way through. Drop your head when you get to your down dog and settle into the floor. Big breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Left foot reaches, reach it up, peel it open, and sweep. I think we took a couple breaths here. Let's take a couple breaths here. Keep it nice and even. And then when you're ready, sweep it forward, warrior 1. Finding your rootedness, finding your groove, expressiveness. This is my warrior one. I have all these capacities. And then burning bright in that center, that third chakra center, your self-confidence, your projection of what you know and who you are, your brightness, your fullness. 3, 2, and then kicking up to your balance, warrior 3 or airplane. 5. You can express your anger through this burning chakra. 3. 2. Big inhale, landing your back foot, both legs are straight as you forward fold over the left leg per Parsvottanasana. Maybe there's a little inhale to a flat back. Notice how that inhale to a flat back is the lifting of your sternum, a sending of energy into that spot, and then exhale, forward fold over your knee. Head hangs. Feel your rootedness, feel your fluidity, feel your fire. So maybe as we move into our triangle variations, you think about where you're pointing that burning gem, that resplendent gem, as your right hand plants and left hand spins high for Parivrtta Trikonasana, twisting triangle. Hips are moving back, stability, fluidity in the twist, and then adding your fire, adding your shine. 3, 2, and then dropping your left hand down and spinning your right hand high for triangle pose. You can come to standing and rearrange your feet, however you get there. Rootedness, fluidity, and shine. 4, 3, 2, a little bend into the front knee as you plant your left hand, step back to your side plank variation. Didn't mention on the other side, that could include putting your left knee on the floor. Stack your feet, one foot in front of the other, wild thing, or on your left knee. 3, 2, shining that gem toward the ceiling, and then sweeping over toward high plank. Centering yourself, low plank, upward facing, shining it forward, downward facing dog. Breath in and out. Now feel that place in your body from the front and the back, lengthening through your mid-thoracic spine, lengthening through your solar plexus. Breath in and breath out. Inhale to your high plank and lower yourself all the way to the floor. We're going to come into bow variations. Jackie wants to lay on the floor for a little while. We said this was the fiery practice. I wasn't lying. We'll do one side at a time first.
Okay.
So reach around, and you can do, if bow or half bow doesn't work for you, locust pose, cobra pose, sphinx pose, all of those are great options. Going to reach around and take your right. Oh, no, she's going for both. All right, we're going for both. You're going to grab.
One?
Let's do both because
Okay.
we're going to run out of time anyway. Grab both ankles. If you want to pause and do one side at a time, awesome. And then from leg strength, fire up your legs and inhale, up you come. So your third chakra is burning bright from leg strength, groundedness, fluidity, beautiful release in that thoracic spine. Think about the space in between your shoulder blades, working, squeezing, getting so much blood flow, and your solar plexus opening in the front. One, and from here, let's come down. We'll do second variation. We're gonna do, so to take a little rest, because we're gonna do it.
That's fine.
We're gonna do another variation here. You can shimmy your feet around, windshield wipe your feet if you want.
Okay.
Coming back into bow pose. And inhale, come on up. And from here, we're gonna weeble wobble. Flip yourself over onto one side. You might need to rock a little bit to get a little bit of momentum to bring yourself over. Your head can rest on the floor once you get there. You can think about this as a variation of Jackie's pose, in fact. And then when you're ready, rock yourself back to your belly. Oh my goodness. Reach, reach, plop, weeble wobble, I love it. Inhale, come on back up to your bow pose. Rock yourself over to the other side. Yay, I'm so glad she's demonstrating this and not me. And that contact of your hands with your ankles creates this incredible extension in your whole front body, your quads, your hip flexors, all your abdominal muscles, and everything that attaches into that solar plexus. You have your diaphragm attachments there. It's the seat of your very breath, the thing that keeps you alive. Feel that whole opening. And then when you're ready, wobble yourself back to center. One more inhale if you've got it, or just freaking release it to the floor. I feel like we're getting a lot of dirty looks right now. That's cool. What you need to recover, you can stock your palms for a pyramid, bend your knees and windshield wipe your feet, or just shimmy your hips around. All good. All right, one more active pose here. We're gonna flip over onto the back. So get your hands under your shoulders, press up to tabletop, make your way to your back. Bring your knees up. Just give yourself a little forward fold action after all that extension. We're gonna come into a shoulder stand. Now, if you know that this is not for you, if you have neck injuries or shoulder injuries, that's just fine. You can come into a supine twist. You can take a Viparita Karani. Otherwise, we're gonna set up for a shoulder stand. If you wanna take a folded blanket under your shoulders, that might be nice just to get the back of your neck off the floor. If you ever feel like the vertebrae at the back of your neck are grinding into the floor, come out. That's a safety consideration, and never turn your head here. Otherwise, you're gonna lift up your hips, get your hands underneath your hips, and just lift your legs up, maybe one at a time, maybe both at a time. You can also rock up into your shoulder stand. You can use the wall to get up into your shoulder stand. All good variations. Working toward hips over shoulders and knees over hips. Look at that beautiful alignment. Inner line of your legs lifting. Barbie feet, right? Pointed feet, but flexed toes. Pressing the backs of your arms down to find more spinal extension. Keeping your hands always on your back unless your feet hit the floor. If you come into Halasana and your feet hit the floor, then you can release your hands. Otherwise, it's just too unstable on your neck, which is precious commodity. Taking about 10 breaths in your inversion. And then when you're ready, if you like, you can drop your feet behind you, toes coming toward the floor for Halasana plow pose, maybe one leg at a time. So delicious in the low back. Maybe the best pose we have for digestion, digestive fire, that Agni, or Agni, say it Agni, I don't know, don't talk when you're in this pose. Ajita. Digestive fire in that third chakra. If you're feeling sluggish in that department, this will definitely stimulate a few things. Knees can come toward your ears for Karnapidasan. And then when you're ready, you can come back through your shoulder stand or just come down with bent knees, slowly lowering your hips to the floor. Put your feet down, just let your low back settle. Half Shavasana for a few breaths. Beautiful pose, by the way, well done. Whatever you did, it was a beautiful pose. And then bring your knees up to your chest, give them a good squeeze. And let's take a supine twist. Drop your knees over to one side. Twists are definitely a third chakra pose. If you want to take your knees together and twist, or split knees and twist, either way is totally fine. And delicious, opposite arm comes out. Ooh, look, big old twist. Putting a block between your knees or underneath the twisted knee is a beautiful thing. 3, 2, and slowly coming through center, taking it over to the other side. So now notice what's happening in that third chakra center. It's maybe cooling down a little bit as we stop all that effort. Breath becomes a little easier. You might feel a little cooling, a little settling down. Fire is banking. It's becoming more like a coal rather than an open flame. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, and gently coming towards seated for our pranayama. You can sit in any position, on a bolster, on a block, on your knees, on the couch, whatever's comfortable. So coming back to the root chakra, to the red root of your whole body, your perineum, your groundedness, your connection to the earth. And moving up into the yellow of your fluid, sensuous, creative, expressive second chakra. How that rests on the rootedness of the first. And then moving up to the orange, the fire, the flame, the shininess of your third chakra that rests on your fluidity and your groundedness. All those things working in harmony, each one a part of you, each one a part of each other. All those nerve centers and organs and parts of your spine and soft tissues and bones that work so beautifully together, that make up your physical expression. First 3 chakras awake and in harmony. You're welcome to stay here or come to your Shavasana. You can flatten yourself out all the way onto the floor. Take a moment to tuck your tailbone under, scooch your shoulder blades underneath you, let your feet flop wide. Maybe arms are taking up space, maybe they're on your belly. And notice that your third chakra is the highest point of your body right now. It's the pinnacle. It's literally the highest point of you. Feel its brightness, its orange conviction, your certainty, your confidence, your belief. Maybe one more time, circle back to the red root, the yellow fluid, and the orange shine. You're welcome to stay right here as long as you like. If you're ready to come up to seated, you can roll off to one side and come on back up. Hands rest on your thighs, big breath in and clear it out. Hands to heart center, breath in, breath out. Thumb knuckles to third eye. Breath in, breath out. Thank you so much for joining us for our third chakra practice. Go shine, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Feels